the tower shattering under the storm, lightning ripping through the sky. It's the symbol of everything they fought for, now crumbling before their eyes. The blades stand planted in the ground, blood-stained and silent. That one line cuts deeper than the swords, so we've lost. The heroes gather at the tower's base, staring up at the chaos. No one expected their story to end like this. They knew it had to end someday, but not like this. Two warriors stand, beaten down, but still upright. One of them just laughs it off. Don't get emotional, it's over anyway. They've already accepted defeat. But before that resignation sinks in, the ground shakes as a massive staff slams into the earth. The voice cuts through, full of defiance. And then he appears, torn, bloodied, but unbroken. Sun Ogong, the great sage, standing tall with his staff. His roar says it all. It's not over yet. The enemy mocks him. You're talking big for someone about to die. But Sun Ogong doesn't flinch. His answer is raw, desperate. I won't die. Then, a new presence steps forward. Draped in the lion's pelt, muscles carved like stone, Hercules himself. He throws down the challenge. Immortal or not, can you really stand proud before the outer gods? Without hesitation, Hercules grabs Sun Ogong, his voice heavy with warning. They'll find his place soon. Sun Ogong grits his teeth, knowing time is running out. Damn it. A chilling voice cuts in. No, there's a chance they already have. The air twists, and a glowing sphere begins to form. The sphere bursts into light, landing between the warriors. Every eye locks onto it, the tension in the air suddenly shifting. And from that light steps a man, calm, steady, but carrying the weight of the moment. Kim Yuan has arrived. The warriors breathe out in relief. So you made it back. But even Yuan admits it. He thought he was going to die. He slumps down, exhausted. Someone asks, "It's just you?" The silence in his eyes says it all. Yeah. The names drop heavy. Merlin, Azura, Vishnu. All of them. The answer doesn't change. Yeah. The weight of it all drops. They're all dead. The survivors stand in silence as the ground cracks, a strange orb pulsing with energy. Confusion spreads. Who is this bastard? Then the voice answers back, calm but terrifying, foolish chaos. The name alone freezes them. Sun Ogong's eyes widen. He shouts, furious, "Wait, that thing is actually one of the outer gods." Yuan clenches his fist, the truth sinking in. With this, I now know for a fact. His voice is steady but heavy. He looks up at the sky, admitting the harsh reality. We inners cannot beat the outers. A glowing portal shimmers into existence, its light cold and final. His words echo. There is no way to win. The portal hums with power, light tearing through the battlefield. A voice declares, for now, that is. Yuan stares ahead, realizing the only path left. So, in the end, this is our only option. Return to the old world line and start over. The gears of time begin to turn. Kronos, the divine being who rules over time, reveals himself. His power shifts the very fabric of the world. When you return, I may no longer exist. But that's the price. Do not waste your energy searching for me. Yuan asks quietly, so you'll cease to exist? Kronos admits, he doesn't know what form it'll take, but he stays resolute. My disappearance won't matter. The weight of sacrifice hangs in the air, while Yuan's eyes tighten with resolve. Kronos lowers his hand, his tone somber. I'd wanted to finish it here, but this was our final chance. Yuan looks at the others, his voice steady. So who's going back in time? The weight of that decision hangs over everyone. He exhales, half resigned, half expecting it. I figured, but it's really going to be me, huh? The answer comes back without hesitation. That's right. Ogong steps forward, furious but honest. Why him? I could have been chosen too. But then he admits the truth. Yuan, you were the last to enter the tower. And yet you adapted faster than anyone, climbed it, and now stand here with us. The memories come rushing back. Heroes of old who once climbed the tower, reaching the top, earning myths and divine titles. A reminder hits Yuan. We didn't forget, right? The higher beings are limited. They can't interfere freely in the lower floors. Hercules lays it out straight. If we want to change the tower, we've got to start from the bottom and climb again. That's why you're the only choice. They warn you on. When he goes back, their bonds won't be the same. If we don't recognize you, let's slide. Ogong grins through the chaos. Knock some sense into those who don't get it. And if they still don't, just kill them. His parting words sting, but they're honest. Yuan shakes his head at all of them. You guys are never short for words. Yuan reaches for the clock of time, his thoughts drifting. They're all so bullheaded, yet there's a faint smile on his face. The gears of Chronos turn wildly, the whole mechanism of time spinning out of control. Yuan accepts it. I guess I'm going to have a hard time. And then light. He looks down at his hands, smaller, younger. His eyes widen in shock. He's gone back. Yuan stands his younger body, shocked. My body feels so heavy. All the strength and arcane power he once had, it's gone. He clenches his fist, realizing the truth. It's not that my body traveled back. My time itself was rewound. Determination flashes in his eyes. That means I have to start over from zero. His first test? A fight. He throws himself into it. First, I need to see how much I've really gone back. The guy smirks, surprised. You actually withstood it? Yuan's eyes widen. The bully grins wider, confused but intrigued. What's going on? Then Yuan notices the emblem on his jacket, Chongseol University. Memories come rushing back. That's right. I was just a college student before it all began. I'd almost forgotten it's been that long. Yuan squares off against the bully, his mind racing. What was this guy's name again? The other sneers. Think you're tough? You should respect your sunbae. But Yuan isn't even focused on the fight. He mumbles to himself, was it today or tomorrow? Leaving the bully completely confused. Yuan presses for clarity, unfazed. What's today's date? Answer me, and I'll forgive those punches. Not that it mattered. Your weak hit didn't even hurt. The bully charges in, yelling threats. But Yuan doesn't flinch. He counters clean and drops him flat in an instant. Yuan stands tall, calm, almost detached. His eyes sharpen now. He looks at his phone, determination solid. Let's start. The true beginning of his new climb has begun. The screen lights up, Kim Yuan. The time, 1500 hours, Friday, December 31st. A message flashes at the bottom, 9 hours before the commencement of the tutorial. The countdown to everything has officially begun. It's the last night of the year, December 31st, 2019. The city's buzzing, Hongdae glowing with lights and life. Bars and streets are packed, people celebrating, no clue what's about to go down. And here steps in Kim Myung-hoon from Chongseol University. He looks around at the crowd, annoyed at how packed it is, when someone suddenly calls out his name. Myung-hoon finally spots his group waving him over, shouting at him for being impossible to reach. He sits down, but his buddies immediately call him out for being an hour late, demanding cash. He brushes it off with a quick cut the crap. He downs his drink fast, but then freezes mid-sip, his eyes narrowing. The fuck? Something's off. The group calls him out for being such a buzzkill. He just brushes it off, asking for another drink. But then, one of them drops the name casually, so what did you do with Kim Yuan? The moment that name hits, Myung-hoon freezes. His expression shifts, repeating it under his breath, Kim Yuan. Myung-hoon gasps for air, clutching his face in pain. The name rings clear now, the absentee, Kim Myung-hoon. Yuan stands over him, calm but sharp. Now I remember you. School's on break, and this is how you spend your time. He looks down with cold finality. Anyway, you deserve a hard time too. There's not much time left. Myung-hoon fumes to himself, pissed. That bastard just spouted nonsense and walked off. I'll beat him so bad, he won't even crawl next time. Back at the table, his buddies laugh it off, bragging about how hard they roughed Yuan up. Hope he even made it to the hospital. They toast like it's nothing, mocking him. Who cares? Kid's got no parents, no one's coming for him anyway. If he dies after a few punches, that's on him. They slam their glasses together, full send. Let's just drink up, energy, everyone hyped and loose. The watch flashes the time. The place is jammed, and the noise hits. The crowd's energy hits another level. They spill back into Hongdae, New Year's buzz everywhere, someone throws out third round, and the night keeps riding. The guys are getting restless. One of them says they should hurry up with whatever they're about to do, while another complains that he's sobering up and it feels like a waste. Suddenly, the sound of suitcase wheels catches their attention. One of them notices and points it out. They see someone walking confidently through the crowd with a suitcase and realize it's Kim Yuan. They spot Yuan and freeze. One of them shook, thinking, "Wait, why does he look totally fine?" Another can't believe it. "Why the hell is that guy here?" Inside their heads, they're already plotting. "This is perfect, you're dead now." Out loud, one goes, "Let's go say hi." But the other snaps back, "Say hi? Please. You trying to fight him again?" Meanwhile, Yuan's just walking through the crowd with his suitcase, not even fazed, like it doesn't care about their drama at all. One of the guys spots Yuan and yells his name, catching his attention mid-stride. Yuan stops, turns, and now he's face-to-face with the whole group blocking his way. The leader steps up, glaring at him, throwing out a hostile, "What are you doing here, fucker?" The city's packed, streets buzzing with people, no one realizing what's about to go down. Yuan looks calm, glances at his watch, staying dead serious while everyone else is celebrating. He mutters, "Midnight's almost here." Tells them they've got 3 minutes left to enjoy themselves. After that, it's all chaos. Myung-hoon charges at Yuan, pissed and cursing, demanding what nonsense he's spouting. But suddenly, his face freezes in shock. Something isn't right. Yuan calmly kneels, opening his suitcase. Inside, weapons and gear. He pulls out a blade, and Myung-hoon freaks out, yelling that Yuan's lost his damn mind. The crowd's panicking. One of the guys yells, shocked at how hard Yuan hit. They tell him to hurry up and apologize, trying to calm the situation, blaming Kim Myung-hoon for starting it. Even Yuan's own crew tries to reason with him, saying this isn't right. No matter how pissed he is, he shouldn't go this far. But Yuan doesn't even flinch. He grabs his bag, thinking to himself, this place is packed, the most crowded area in Seoul. And that's exactly why it's about to turn into hell. Yuan smashes his suitcase down, the impact echoing through the street. The people around him freeze in shock. Close up on Yuan's face. He's dead serious, his eyes sharp. He declares, "It begins now." The camera shifts to the ground. His digital watch lies there, glowing in the dark, marking the countdown to chaos. The watch ticks down to the final second, 11 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. Everyone's holding their breath. The time flips to midnight. 12 hours. The countdown's over. A deafening beep rings out, and chaos erupts. People on the streets clutch their ears as a blinding light explodes around them. The whole city glitches out in neon colors, like reality itself is breaking apart. Yuan walks past Myung-hoon, calm and collected, dropping the line, "Your 3 minutes are up." Myung-hoon grabs his head, panicking, while a system prompt appears. Sector 20131. Population, 12,014. The system announces the start of the tutorial, throwing everyone into survival mode against a horde of zombies. The rule's simple: survive for 30 minutes. The crowd panics as horrifying zombies start rushing at them. People scream in disbelief, questioning if these monsters are actually real. Yuan stays calm, analyzing the situation. He notes the sheer number of zombies and realizes it's not random. It's all because of the tutorial's difficulty setting. The zombies are swarming everywhere, and Yuan explains how the more people in a sector, the harder the difficulty. That's the only way the system keeps things balanced. He points out that since Hongdae is packed with people, the density here makes it a nightmare zone. Wherever you run, the sector rules keep you trapped, and zombies will just keep showing up. He grips his knife tightly, declaring that this place will soon be drowned in blood. At the same time, the tutorial system announces his first weapon, a basic item, the old knife, and also explains how to check stats using the activation phrase status window. People are panicking, looking at the glowing weapons in their hands. They're confused and frustrated, realizing these so-called weapons are barely even useful. Yuan, on the other hand, is calm. He knows the tutorial's theme is survival. But unlike before, he's not aiming to simply scrape by. He wants more. He grips a flare tightly, already thinking ahead, preparing for what's coming. Yuan flicks the cap off the vial, coating his blade with the strange liquid, powering it up. He grips the knife tight, eyes sharp. All right, let's go. Without hesitation, he launches forward, slicing through zombies in a clean, brutal motion. The real fight has officially begun. Yuan just slashed through the zombie clean, and boom, system notification pops up. He's the first one in the area to land a kill. Instantly racks up 100 points, and his EXP spikes like crazy. The system announces it. He leveled up. His eyes sharpen as he feels the change. Yuan notes it himself. His body's getting lighter, sharper, stronger. This is just the beginning. Yuan just slashed through the zombie clean, and boom, system notification pops up. He's the first one in the area to land a kill. Instantly racks up 100 points, and his EXP spikes like crazy. The system announces it. He leveled up. His eyes sharpen as he feels the change. Yuan notes it himself. His body's getting lighter, sharper, stronger. This is just the beginning. This guy charges in, axe raised high, screaming like he's ready to take down the zombies in one swing. But before he can even land a proper hit, a zombie slashes him across the chest, and blood bursts out. He's instantly caught off guard. He's face to face with the zombie now, holding up his axe in shock, stuttering, confused why it's not working the way he thought it would. One dude gets instantly mauled by zombies, screaming in pain as the horde tears into him. Yuan analyzes the situation, realizing that just normal strength won't be enough to deal with these things. He breaks it down. Zombies might be slow and dumb, but they're tough, can't feel pain, and the real danger is when they swarm in groups. Yuan drives his blade into the zombie, but even with a clean hit, the monster refuses to go down easily. He realizes just how brutal this climb is going to be. The zombie still clings on, even after being stabbed. Yuan clicks his tongue in frustration. These things aren't ordinary enemies. He pushes the creature back with force, questioning if the temporary boost he had is already gone. The fight's only just started, but the difficulty is already climbing. Yuan explains while fighting that zombies aren't easy to kill, but they do have a weak point. He grabs his weapon firmly, about to show where that weak point is. With a sharp strike, he demonstrates the move, his blade flashing as he cuts through with precision. The man continues speaking while holding the salt shaker. The zombies in the first tutorial, they have a critical weakness. A flashback shows zombies writhing in pain as salt touches them. They're weak to salt. Close-up of the man's determined face as he grips the salt container tightly. That's how I managed to survive. The zombies have one weakness, salt, and he's using it like a pro, slicing through hordes without slowing down. The system hits him with an impossible achievement. He's already wiped out 100 zombies in under 10 minutes of the tutorial. That's insane speed. As a reward, he gets 3 unallocated stat points. Unlike the usual random stats, these are free points he can drop wherever he wants. But if he doesn't decide, the system's going to assign them automatically at the end. Yuan looks at the system message and realizes something important. Unallocated stat points can actually be earned during the tutorial itself. He's already planning how to use this to his advantage. He hovers his hand over the glowing screen, questioning himself. Should he spend the points now to power up instantly? But he decides against it. Yuan turns away with confidence, muttering that zombies don't deserve those points. He'll save them for when things get tougher. The mission pops up above the sky. Survive against zombies for 30 minutes. Only 10 minutes left on the clock. The MC knows he can't waste time and decides, let's find a better spot. Zombie growls echo in the background. The MC turns his head, sharp and focused, sensing danger closing in. His eyes lock onto something. He mutters with certainty there. He's found the place he's aiming for. The guy screams as he stabs the zombie, putting everything he's got into the attack. But the zombie barely flinches, its eyes wide and lifeless as it still stands there, unfazed. Frustrated, the guy curses to himself. Why is it so easy for Kim Yuan, yet impossible for him to land a real kill? He's struggling against the zombie, thinking desperately, if only I had Yuan's weapon. The zombie lunges forward, biting down hard as he cries out in pain. In pure desperation, he kicks it away, shouting, "Gee, go away." The streets are overflowing with zombies, and the group is running for their lives. Myung-hoon's name is shouted in desperation as chaos unfolds. Panic spreads. One guy grabs another, yelling that the zombies are multiplying fast. They realize the only chance of survival is sticking with Yuan, but he's nowhere to be found. A close-up on a terrified face. The only thought running through his mind, Kim Yuan. The crowd is panicking, screaming Kim Yuan's name as zombies swarm the streets. Everyone's desperate, searching for where he disappeared. One of the guys yells out a warning. Myung-hoon's in danger. He turns in shock, realizing too late. Myung-hoon tries to fight back, stabbing into a zombie, but the impact shows he's nowhere near Yuan's level of strength or precision. Myung-hoon looks up, confused, as a huge chunk of debris falls right toward him. A zombie lunges with a twisted face and bloody hands, closing in fast. Myung-hoon freezes in shock. His thoughts spiral. He realizes he can't escape this one. Panic sets in as the only thing running through his mind is, he's about to die. Myung-hoon's about to get ripped apart when suddenly the zombie freezes mid-attack, collapsing on him instead of tearing him apart. The other guys are shocked, confused about why the zombie just dropped dead out of nowhere. One of them guesses maybe something fell on it. The scene shifts to the sky. Dust and debris are falling, hinting at something much bigger happening above them. One of the guys reaches out, and fine particles fall onto his hand. He looks confused. Something's definitely off. He tastes it and realizes it's salty. Then it clicks. This is salt. But why is salt falling from the sky right now? Meanwhile, Yuan's on the move. The system notifications start flooding in. You have leveled up. You have leveled up. You have leveled up. His kills are stacking, and his growth is accelerating at an insane pace. Yuan smirks, satisfied with the chaos he's caused, his level notifications flooding in. He ground shatters violently as his movements tear through the area, showing just how far ahead he is of everyone else. The system announces the end of the first tutorial. Out of thousands, only 4,007 managed to survive. Yuan glances around, noting grimly that most people didn't make it. The results come in. He's wiped out 1,427 enemies. Points are flying in, rewards stacking up, and even bonus stat points are added on top. The system's basically telling us, this guy isn't just surviving, he's dominating. Then comes the big announcement, an impossible achievement. Another 1,000 points drop into his account. He looks almost casual about it, admitting he killed a ton too, like it's nothing. We finally see his status screen. Kim Yuan, already at level 16 with over 3,000 points banked. For a first tutorial, that's insane. He even reflects on how last time he barely started with scraps, but now, he's stacked way ahead of the curve. The system announces the second tutorial is about to start, and Yuan realizes he won't even get a moment to rest. He's already preparing himself, thinking ahead about what the next challenge might be, when suddenly a mysterious voice cuts in with a cheerful "Hello, everyone." The voice congratulates the survivors, joking about how many people are still alive. Down on the street, the players are confused, whispering, and wondering where that voice is even coming from. The system announces it has an important update, but Yuan quickly realizes it's not the main system speaking, just a lackey delivering the message. Turns out, someone's been leveling up way too fast. The big reveal. This announcement is about teaching players how to use their points. The crowd reacts with frustration, some demanding answers on how to return home, while others just want to hear the explanation. The system explains the first method, using points in the shop. And the shop isn't just ordinary. It's packed with items beyond imagination, weapons and tools that could completely change the game. The system just dropped the rule, points of money now. You can literally trade them just by shaking hands. MC knows the deal. With enough points, you don't just survive, you can straight up become a god. And the shop? That's the real game changer here. From now on, it's not just about leveling up, it's a straight battle of levels versus points. The real grind starts here. The system's done explaining. Now it's simple. Go out there and fight. No more excuses. Safe zones pop up in the middle of each sector. Basically, your one chance at not dying instantly. Step inside the safe zone, and you'll get 100 points every 3 hours. Easy passive income, if you can hold your ground. And just like that, the second tutorial kicks off. The real survival game begins now. A strange, glowing barrier suddenly forms, covering parts of the city. Everyone just stares in shock, not knowing what's happening. People notice the colorful dome and realize it's a safe zone. That glowing field is the only protection they've got right now. Exhausted and confused, Myung-hoon and his buddies stumble forward. They're frustrated, beaten down, and have no clue what's going on, but they know one thing. They need to reach that safe zone. One of the guys asks, "Where's Chang-ho?" But Myung-hoon, covering his face in frustration, snaps back coldly. "Hell if I know. He probably died." No remorse, just straight denial. The group gets suspicious. They ask what he's hiding, but he brushes it off. It's nothing. Still, one of them points out something fishy. Yuan's not around. That guy was tearing through zombies like a monster. There's no way he just dropped dead. They recall how Yuan fought, saying he was an absolute beast. Maybe this was his true calling all along. And then someone suddenly realizes something, their eyes going wide in shock. The guy shoves past everyone, sprinting forward, ignoring the chaos behind him. But then his hand shoots out, grabbing Kim Yuan by the arm, stopping him in his tracks. He yells, desperate, "Kim Yuan, where are you going? That's the wrong way. Didn't you hear? We're supposed to stay in the safe zone." The upperclassman smirks confidently, saying he'll take care of Yuan like a senior should. Deep down, though, he knows sticking close to Yuan is the safest move. He thinks to himself, if he just reaches out, Yuan will definitely take him along. But Yuan's calm reply cuts in, "I know." Then Yuan pulls away, cold and firm. "I have somewhere I have to go. Bye." The guy freezes in shock as Yuan leaves him behind. Yuan grabs him and says if you want to survive, stop leeching off others. Just stay in the safe zone. He looks him dead in the eyes and says, "Know your place." That pisses the guy off instantly. He explodes in anger, cursing at Yuan as he storms off without caring. He clenches his fist, cursing Yuan's name, pissed and humiliated. But then he tries to brush it off, convincing himself he's better off in the so-called safe zone than sticking close to Yuan. When he runs to enter the zone, he suddenly realizes something's wrong. The entrance is blocked off. The survivors watch in shock as the safe zone's numbers lock in, capacity reached. No one else can enter. The truth hits hard. Only 2,000 can stay inside, which is barely half of the total survivors. And for those left outside, it's pure slaughter. They're ripped apart instantly, their screams swallowed by the chaos. Myung-hoon freaks out, screaming in terror as he spots something horrifying coming his way. A massive monster worm bursts out, crushing and swallowing people left and right. Myung-hoon begs for his life, screaming for someone to save him. The beast's attack is brutal, blood and flesh flying everywhere as chaos unfolds. Yuan slices through the massive worm, green blood spraying everywhere as the monster screeches in pain. While people are panicking, Yuan stays calm, staring ahead with determination, thinking to himself, this is just the beginning. A system message pops up. He's the first to kill an earthworm, earning bonus points and stat increases in strength and dexterity. Yuan explains that these earthworms hunt by digging through the ground, which is why they can't be seen with the naked eye. He shuts his eyes, focusing on his other senses to track them instead. And just like that, he feels it. Something massive is moving beneath, rumbling through the ground straight toward him. Yuan slams his foot down, sending vibrations through the ground. He's baiting the worm. The earth cracks. The monster reacts, rushing toward the sound. Yuan times it perfectly. He launches his sword strike with full force, tearing right through the worm's head. Yuan swings his blade with precision, slashing clean through the air. He tears into the earthworms, blood splattering as he cuts them down mid-attack. The system dings again. Yuan levels up, his stats and strength, dexterity, and perception all rising. He just smirks quietly, fully aware he's on another level. Yuan's confused. He leveled up even though he only killed 2 worms. Something's definitely up with the system. He starts walking deeper in, realizing that if things keep going like this, he's gonna rack up a ton of stat points. His steps echo as the tension builds, like something's waiting just ahead. Yuan steps into the underground station. The place looks wrecked with shattered lights and cracked walls. He explains calmly, earthworms dig underground and build their nests inside caves like this. Close up on his face, and he concludes, this whole place is basically their territory. Yuan stumbles upon a massive swarm of earthworms writhing through the walls. This place isn't just a random tunnel. It's the perfect hunting ground for them. The system confirms it. He's discovered a hidden dungeon, Hongdae Station, and he gets extra points for it. Yuan smirks, because this is exactly what he was looking for. With his blade ready, he mutters that now that he's found their nest, taking them down will be way easier. Yuan dives into the fight, determined to grind his way up. He's not just hunting. He's aiming straight for level 20. A monstrous earthworm screeches, mouth wide open, ready to swallow everything in its path. But Yuan doesn't flinch. His blade flashes, cutting through multiple worms at once, blood and green ichor spraying everywhere as he tears them apart. He cuts clean through, green blood bursting out as the strike lands perfectly. The follow-through is brutal. He swings with full force, tearing through the monster without hesitation. From the wreckage, a glowing orb drops, radiating strange power. He stares, shocked by what just appeared. Yuan spots the marble mid-fight and realizes, wait, this is something that only drops in the second tutorial. He grabs it, smirks, and thinks, interesting. These worms just got way more valuable. Looking determined, he clenches the marble and says he's got even more reason now to hunt them down harder. People outside the safe zone are being torn apart by the worms, screaming in agony as they're devoured alive. Those inside the safe zone are horrified watching the massacre unfold. One even mutters that they'd rather die by their own hand than be eaten like that. Then suddenly, a blue screen pops up. 3 hours have passed, and everyone gets 100 points. Confused whispers spread. Some wonder if points are like money, while others question if 100 points even mean much. The system drops another bomb. The red region will be deactivated. Capacity shows 1,867 out of 500 way over the limit. And then chaos. People inside the red zone suddenly get booted out. The system coldly explains, if the safe zone's max capacity is exceeded, random people are expelled. Panic erupts. One guy screams, how small is this thing going to shrink? While another realizes his body's being dragged out against his will. The safe zone's capacity is way over the limit. Panic spreads as the glowing warning flashes across the sky. People are shoved out against their will, right into the gaping mouths of monsters waiting outside. Time's still ticking, chaos everywhere, and the screams of people being torn apart fill the air. Chaos everywhere. People are shoving and punching each other just to survive. One guy yells, "Get out of the way, or I'll beat you to death." It's survival of the fittest out here. Another dude screams he needs to get inside the safe zone. People are tripping, falling, clawing their way forward. Nobody cares about anyone else. It's a desperate scramble. And then, out of nowhere, a loud voice cuts through the madness. Everyone quiet. The camera shifts, and it's the Chongsula University guys stepping up, about to take control of the situation. The crowd goes silent. Everyone's tense. Eyes dart around, but no one dares to speak first. Then the guy in a varsity jacket finally breaks the silence, his face twisted with desperation. He yells that from now on, they'll have to choose who dies if they want to survive. The guy snaps. He shouts that from now on, they'll have to decide who dies so the rest can live. Straight up survival of the fittest. You can see the fear in everyone's eyes. He knows if he doesn't do something, he might be the one kicked out of the safe zone. The thought hits hard. He has to kill someone to survive. And the chaos begins as desperation takes over. Bro straight up grabs an old man in front of the whole crowd. Everyone's losing it, like, what the hell are you doing? He just stares them down and says it, I'm gonna kill this old man. Cold. No hesitation. And then boom. He doesn't even bluff. He follows through with a savage strike. No one saw that coming. The monster lunges with its huge jaws wide open, but the guy runs straight at it, no fear, blade in hand. He stomps down hard, sliding across the floor to get momentum, locking in his stance. Sword flashes out as he swings, aiming right at the beast's incoming strike. Bro just wiped out the monsters, and boom, system message pops. He leveled up. Stats are rolling in. Dexterity, constitution, perception, all boosted. He's stacking those upgrades fast. Now he's officially level 20. Dude's progression is insane. System drops a surprise. New stat unlocked. Arcane power. That's a game changer. He takes a breath, clutching his weapon, whispering to himself, I did it. Yuan finally catches his breath after hours of grinding. He's exhausted, but thanks to his boosted stats, his body feels lighter than before. His stat window pops up. Kim Yuan, level 20. Strength, dexterity, constitution, all stacked up. He's got random rewards for slaying those worms, plus a few unallocated stat points to spend. The system asks the big question. Will you use your stat points? Yuan doesn't hesitate. He's going all in. Yuan finally catches his breath after hours of grinding. He's exhausted, but thanks to his boosted stats, his body feels lighter than before. His stat window pops up. Kim Yuan, level 20. Strength, dexterity, constitution, all stacked up. He's got random rewards for slaying those worms, plus a few unallocated stat points to spend. The system asks the big question. Will you use your stat points? Yuan doesn't hesitate. He's going all in. Yuan walks forward, the ground cracked under his steps. He's calm, but focused. He knows what he needs right now. He suddenly turns, looking straight at the ceiling. Hey, he calls out, voice steady. You're watching, aren't you? From the shadows above, silence, then a voice answers. How did you know? Yuan smirks and says, you see, I'm kind of flashy. Yeah, he knows eyes are on him. He's not hiding. He's making sure all attention stays locked. He continues, and it's boring watching elsewhere, right? Basically flexing that he's the main show, and even the unseen watchers can't deny it. The mysterious presence actually responds, agreeing, saying this dull job just got entertaining thanks to him. So yeah, even the shadows are low-key impressed. The clown-like lackey floats in, impressed. Yuan really managed to reach level 20. Yuan plays it off cool, saying it was just luck. But the lackey laughs, saying people who blame things on luck are the scariest. Then the lackey asks why he was summoned, and Yuan drops the word, the shop. He's ready to buy something. Yuan shuts down the idea of buying items. He wants skills instead. The lackey freezes, clearly caught off guard. The system shop opens, glowing with countless skill options. The lackey points out that Yuan might be the first person ever to buy a skill this early in the second tutorial. The shop list stretches endlessly, filled with skills upon skills. Yuan scrolls through it, realizing there are way too many to sift through in one go. Yuan scrolls through the shop menu, eyeing different skill options like he's browsing an in-game store. He asks if this is really all the skills available. The lackey explains these are just the basic tutorial-only ones. The lackey probes, wondering if Yuan is searching for something specific. Yuan brushes it off casually, thinking that asking too much here could attract the wrong kind of attention. He chooses Monkey's Eyes, a skill that most people would ignore, but he's like, yeah, I'll take it. The clown is shocked, like, really? That's not even a good skill. But he just shrugs. He likes the name. Points deducted, new skill unlocked. Without hesitation, he grabs another, basic arcane sword. The screen flashes, points gone, but now he's got a weapon powered by arcane energy. The clown lackey hypes up his choice, saying the arcane sword is perfect for players this early on since it boosts attack power. The lackey disappears with a cheeky farewell, wishing him fun with what's left of the trial. And before fading completely, it drops one last line, saying it has high expectations of him. Yuan just keeps moving forward, unfazed. Yuan thinks to himself, expectations. He knows the higher-ups are going to keep him under watch as some kind of special target. But he doesn't care. He's calm, walking steady, saying it doesn't matter how closely they look. He hasn't broken any rules, so they can't touch him. What really bothers him is just one thing: his return. That's the only secret, and he doubts the system would even be able to figure that out. What really bothers him is just one thing: his return. That's the only secret, and he doubts the system would even be able to figure that out. But he doesn't care. He's calm, walking steady, saying it doesn't matter how closely they look. He hasn't broken any rules, so they can't touch him. What really bothers him is just one thing: his return. That's the only secret, and he doubts the system would even be able to figure that out. Yuan makes it clear his goal hasn't changed, no matter what. His determination burns stronger than ever. Now, with the monkey's eyes, he realizes he needs to level up their proficiency fast, because their real power lies far beyond what they show at first. Meanwhile, chaos erupts in the dungeon. Earthworms are devouring other players, blood splattering everywhere as screams fill the air. The week can't even last a second here. The worms are all stirred up, sensing something strange. They're confused, not sure what's coming their way. The timer shows he's still got 30 minutes left. He draws out his arcane sword, ready to put in work. He spots his target in the chaos. Surrounded by monsters, but calm as ever, he knew it'd show up here. The second tutorial boss finally shows up, Motherworm. This thing is massive and way nastier than the small fry he's been cutting down. Yuan stomps down hard, bracing himself as the ground cracks under the force. Motherworm notices him and roars in anger, shaking the entire place. But Yuan doesn't flinch. He's already sizing it up like prey. The Motherworm hisses in rage, locking eyes with him. He doesn't flinch, just notes how odd it is that a man-eating monster could show such attachment. The beast thrashes wildly, crashing through the battlefield to protect its offspring. Its sheer power shakes the ground, but he calmly stands his ground. He analyzes coldly. Yeah, it's strong, but the problem? It's all instinct and no brain. That lack of intelligence is exactly what he plans to exploit. The Motherworm slams down with overwhelming force, shaking the whole place. Yuan leaps high into the air, eyes locked on the beast. He grips his blade tight, aura flaring. He's aiming to end it in a single strike. Yuan launches a clean strike, slicing through the monster with explosive force. The impact is so intense it sends shockwaves through the entire area. Without missing a beat, he raises his weapon again, his expression cold and focused, ready to deliver another lethal hit. He brings the blade down with full momentum, splitting the massive creature apart while its final screech echoes through the collapsing ruins. The impact hits like a thunderclap, the ground splitting as Yuan's strike tears through the monster's massive body. A deafening screech echoes as the creatures explode in green gore, Yuan's blade cleaving through them without hesitation. With that calm, yet chilling smirk, Yuan looks down at the writhing monsters, his golden eyes gleaming. "So what will you do now?" he taunts. Yuan dives straight at the massive worm, taunting it mid-air. He's basically saying, "Go on, flip over if you dare." The ground rumbles as the creature starts to move. He smirks, blade glowing blue, cool and calm, and just drops the line, "That wasn't the smartest choice." He knows exactly what's about to happen. In one clean motion, he slashes through the beast with explosive force. The entire panel erupts in motion, green blood, light trails, and a perfect hit. Yuan doesn't miss. His eyes blaze gold, and you can feel the tension in his voice as he growls, "Not yet." He's holding himself back, waiting for the perfect moment. The monster thrashes violently, electricity and raw power bursting around it. It's losing control, but still refuses to go down. He tightens his grip, pushing himself past his limit. Just a bit more, the blade glows brighter, energy crackling as he goes in for the final strike. Logan launches himself high into the air, his energy blade glowing as the massive creature roars below, shaking the ground. Midair, Logan steadies his body, locking eyes with the monster that's lunging at him. With a cold smirk, he mutters, "Thanks." His tone drops, calm but deadly. "For coming to me." The glow in his eyes burns brighter as he dives down, ready to end it. Logan's blade pierces straight through the monster, the energy slicing clean as the creature lets out a final, guttural roar before collapsing. The light fades, leaving only silence and steam. Elsewhere, chaos spreads. A man clings desperately to someone's leg, begging for mercy, terrified for his life. His voice cracks as he pleads, trying to reason even though he knows it's useless. But desperation turns to violence. One man snaps, yelling for him to shut up before brutally striking him down. The panic, fear, and madness of survival completely take over the crowd. The guy on the floor looks desperate, begging for his life. But the one holding the knife doesn't care. He coldly reminds him that everyone already agreed someone has to die for the rest to live. The crowd snaps back, shouting in anger. They never agreed to any of this madness, but the man with the jacket yells that everyone did, except them. It's pure chaos, and panic is taking over. With rage in his eyes, he points the knife and warns them not to step back into the zone, or he'll make sure they die by his hand himself. The power trips got him losing it completely. The countdown's at 30 seconds. The entire zone's glowing red as people scramble, realizing what's about to happen. 17 seconds left. Some are frozen in shock, others desperately clinging to any chance of survival as the safe zone starts rejecting people. 6 seconds. The red worms emerge again. Massive, terrifying. People cling to each other, bracing for the end, but the timer keeps ticking down mercilessly. As the final seconds tick away, the guy grips his knife tight, his eyes sharp, ready for whatever's coming when that timer hits 0. But then his expression twists. Something's off. The timer hasn't moved. Everyone looks up in disbelief. The countdown froze at 3 seconds. The timer actually stopped. The system message hits, "Second tutorial cleared." The guy looks up in disbelief, not understanding how they even survived that madness. As reality sinks in, everyone bursts into relief. They're alive. The timer stopped, the safe zone stabilized, and they just earned a massive 600 points. Meanwhile, the protagonist casually cracks open a potion. Someone remarks in awe that he actually managed to kill the monster. He just smirks, like it was nothing more than a small inconvenience. The system offers to heal him, but he immediately rejects it. He's not wasting a reward on something that minor. He's calm, confident, and treating the massive worm corpse beneath him like it's nothing. The clown appears again, clapping mockingly and praising how far mere humans made it in the second tutorial. But the guy doesn't even flinch. He's clearly used to this thing's annoying theatrics. He reflects quietly. It's been 30 minutes since he took down the mother worm. He expected that clown to show up sooner, meaning he's already analyzing the system's response time mid-battle. The protagonist reflects, realizing the system never planned for the mother worm's death. That monster was meant to preserve balance, not be killed. His strength has literally broken the tutorial structure. He sits calmly atop the corpse, asking the system what his reward will be. The clown-like being mocks him, surprised that he already understands how this world works so well. With a cold, confident look, the protagonist stares at the clown and demands the only thing that matters, his reward. The clown finally nods, saying he understands. Whatever Logan just said clearly made an impact. The clown floats in front of him, saying he can choose between 3 rewards. Logan doesn't hesitate. He just asks, "What are they?" The first option pops up, the ability to skip straight to the 5th tutorial, along with all the info and reward from the 3rd and 4th ones. Basically a massive level-up shortcut. He smirks, realizing the system's attempt to outsmart him. They're trying to skip his progress, sending him straight to the 5th stage, assuming the others won't matter. Unfazed, he asks what the final option is, his tone sharp and calm, already analyzing the situation. The clown-like entity floats before him dramatically, revealing the last and most mysterious reward, a direct connection to Olympus. The guide suddenly drops a huge revelation. This whole tutorial they've been in, it's just the beginning. The real world is much bigger, and far deadlier. He continues, explaining that beyond this stage lies the Tower, a place ruled by massive organizations and beings that are practically gods themselves. And then he says it. He's going to recommend him to Olympus, the literal realm of divine power. It's not just a reward. It's an invitation into the domain of gods. A radiant figure draped in flowing robes exudes divine power, surrounded by crackling golden lightning. The voice explains, Olympus is one of the organizations that rule the Tower. If you're sponsored by them, you should be safe in the Tower once you've completed the tutorial. The protagonist's hand trembles slightly, tension visible. He mutters, Olympus, you say? In his thoughts, I could never have predicted this. The narration adds context. It's true that Olympus is one of the major factions that rule the Tower. Kronos was a ranker that belonged to Olympus as well. A determined step forward. The protagonist thinks, if I borrow their power, I'd be able to climb the Tower even faster and safer. But he speaks firmly, the second one. The protagonist calmly declares, I'll go with the second option. His composed demeanor contrasts with the clown's shocked reaction. What? Showing how unexpected his decision was. His screen flashes. Distributing reward. You have obtained 10,000 points. The clown panics, stammering, Why? Wait a minute. Before quickly adding that since the points haven't been used, he'll allow a change of decision, implying desperation or manipulation. The clown, flustered, tries to dissuade him. You must make a wise choice. I'm sure you made this decision because you don't know much about Olympus, but you'll regret it later. The clown completely loses it, panicking as the MC casually drops the word administrator. It's clear this isn't something a normal player should even know. The MC stays calm, unfazed by the panic. He starts speculating, listing names like Olympus and Deva, almost mocking the clown, like he's already figured out the bigger game behind the scenes. The clown yells in shock, demanding to know what the MC really is. But the MC doesn't care. He just thanks him for running his mouth, realizing there's one more thing he needs to do. The massive creature suddenly convulses, shaking the entire floor. The clown-like lackey panics, realizing something's gone terribly wrong. The system responds instantly. The administrator approves his request. Logan's eyes sharpen. He knows this means things just got serious. He starts piecing things together. The tutorial is supposed to be separate from the Tower, so why is Olympus meddling with the system itself? Without wasting a second, he leaps into action. The purple monster surges with chaotic energy, but Logan charges head-on, determined to eliminate this interference before it ruins his future plans. A mysterious figure materializes with crazy energy swirling around. They're mocking the idea of being summoned here, just for a few measly points. The figure finally speaks up, asking if Yuan's the one who dared to call them. Yuan steps forward, cool and steady, introducing himself without hesitation. The figure sizes him up, realizing Yuan's the guy who slaughtered over 1,000 undead back in the first tutorial. The giant figure steps forward, saying he's heard plenty about Kim Y. And boom, reveal time. This isn't just some random dude. This is the tutorial's administrator, the boss chilling at the bottom floor of the Tower. The ceiling starts cracking apart, the air thick with tension. Something, or someone, is about to make an entrance. The clown-like entity trembles in pure fear, its voice shaking as it recalls what the man did, killing over 1,000 undead during the first tutorial. Even the system's messengers fear him now. A towering figure steps out from the shadows. The administrator of the tutorial himself appears before Kim Yuan, intrigued by the chaos this man has caused. The real game is just beginning. The administrator steps forward, questioning how Yuan even knew about him or managed to request a meeting. But Yuan calmly replies, it's all thanks to the first law of the tutorial. He explains that all knowledge about the tutorial must be gained through the player's own ability, not handed out by anyone, not even by the administrator or the Tower itself. It's a rule the administrator himself created. Realizing the truth in Yuan's words, the administrator stays silent. He knows Yuan isn't lying. Within his domain, he can see through any falsehood. The man before him isn't bluffing. The administrator finally acknowledges Yuwon's words with a heavy look and simply says, "Indeed." He knows Yuwon's right, but that only raises more questions. Yuwon doesn't waste time. He points out that something feels off. The tower's interference shouldn't be happening here, but it clearly is. The admin looks surprised, like Yuwon just hit a nerve. Yuwon reveals what he's figured out. Olympus isn't sitting quietly. They've already made contact with the lackeys, try to manipulate things behind the scenes. And to top it off, they even offered him sponsorship as a reward. The clown tries to talk his way out, stammering nervously as the administrator's aura flares. He can tell this isn't going to end well. Before the clown can finish his sentence, the administrator's rage explodes. He slams the ground with terrifying force, shaking the entire area. Blood splatters as the administrator seethes with fury, cursing Olympus for daring to interfere in his domain. The administrator walks toward Yuwon, blood dripping from his hand, saying he's grateful. Thanks to him, he can finally remove the corrupted parts. He declares the second law of the tutorial. Every achievement by a participant must be met with an equal reward. Yuwon calmly responds that he used quite a bit of his points to summon the administrator, and through that, he managed to expose and deal with a traitor among the lackeys. Yuwon smirks slightly, asking the administrator what he thinks about that move, confident, calm, almost like he's testing him. The administrator admits something surprising. His subordinates checked Yuwon's records and found nothing out of the ordinary. No strange stats, no irregularities. For someone that strong, that's unusual. But instead of doubting him, the administrator grins. He finds that mystery fascinating. The lack of abnormalities is what makes Yuwon stand out. That's what truly catches his attention. The administrator finally gives in, acknowledging Kim's actions. He admits that even though Kim didn't land the killing blow himself, the result is still the same. One of the lackeys, almost on the level of a ranker, is dead because of him. He growls that such a powerful being was taken down by a mere participant, his pride clearly bruised. Kim, unfazed as ever, just smirks and coolly says he'll take that as a compliment. The administrator starts laughing darkly. He recognizes Kim's achievement and decides to reward him, asking what kind of prize would suit someone capable of pulling this off. The administrator taps his fingers, clearly thinking deeply. He mutters, "Let's see," like he's trying to decide what kind of reward would even suit someone like Yuwon. He observes Yuwon with a calm expression and says he already has plenty of points, meaning normal rewards won't cut it for someone this overpowered. After a short pause, he finally decides, smirking slightly as he says, "All right," as if he's just come up with something interesting. The administrator tells him he deserves a reward for what he's done. There's a calm but powerful energy as he extends his hand forward. Yuwon notices something strange. The administrator's hand is glowing faintly with power, wrapped tightly in bandages. As the administrator reaches closer, Yuwon realizes this is how rewards are transferred, through direct contact. But from his tone, he's not expecting anything out of the ordinary. A surge of blue energy floods the area as Yuwon receives a massive power-up. The system announces his new skill, Master of Mana. His entire body glows as the enhancement takes effect. Faster mana recovery, greater resistance, sharper mana sensitivity, and a boost of +5 to arcane power. The air grows tense. The administrator smirks, clearly amused. "I imagine you'll be satisfied with this, right?" He taunts, testing Yuwon's reaction to the reward. The administrator turns away, his body radiating power. He tells Yuwon that he has to deal with his subordinates, preparing to leave. He looks back with a knowing grin, saying they'll meet again after the third tutorial, implying their paths are destined to cross soon. As he vanishes, Yuwon stands alone in the wrecked room, surrounded by blue mana currents and the corpse of the massive monster. A silent reminder of what just happened. Yuwon looks at his hand, processing what just happened. He quietly mutters, "Master of Mana," realizing the gravity of what he's gained. As he inspects the skill, the details appear before him. Master of Mana, an S-rank ability belonging to an administrator itself. The boost to recovery, resistance, and sensitivity to mana leaves him stunned. He can't believe such a skill could even appear in the tutorial. Yuan clenches his fist, feeling the faint surge of energy. The control is rough, but the potential is undeniable. It's a mana control skill, and he's only just scratched the surface of its power. He's staring at his glowing hand, realizing the sheer power flowing through it. The energy isn't just magic, it's something way deeper, something primal. He raises his arm, summoning an immense surge of energy. The mana gathers above his palm, forming into a blinding blue sphere, pure, raw power. The screen flashes Mana Blast, an advanced technique, one that only true masters can control. He's not there yet, but this is just the beginning. Kim Yuan stares at his hand, shocked as the blue mana swirls violently around him. A close-up of his hand, glowing intensely. The mana pulsates like a living force, spinning faster, brighter. The explosion of energy erupts outward. Yuan is flung back amid shattering debris and crackling blue light. Yuan lies amidst the rubble, dust settling around him as he mutters. Looks like the skill compensation worked way better than expected. He stands up slowly, inspecting his hand glowing faintly with mana. It's unstable, sure, but he can handle it. He even jokes to himself. Should he be thanking Olympus for this? His expression hardens. He clenches his fist tight, mana pulsing stronger. Gratitude? No way. This level of power still isn't enough. Yuan looks up, determined. He reminds himself that just regaining his old strength isn't enough. He wants to surpass everything he once was. A timer appears, counting down the remaining hours of the second tutorial. Monstrous creatures start emerging from the shadows. Yuan stands alone, unfazed. He whispers to himself, he needs more. More power. More experience. More challenges. He breaks into a sprint, charging straight toward the incoming monsters. His resolve is crystal clear. He's going to gather every bit of strength he can to destroy those so-called omnipotent gods. Yuan's bloodlust peaks. He's surrounded by monsters, but instead of fear, he craves more. He's not satisfied. He wants an even greater challenge, more prey to test his growing power. Time's running out. Only 10 minutes left before the second tutorial ends. Outside, chaos brews. People in the safe zone argue, debating whether to wait or act as panic spreads about what comes next. Desperation sets in. One of the survivors steps up, begging to take action before time runs out. They can't afford to sit still anymore, not when everything around them is falling apart. One of the survivors snaps, gripping another guy by the collar in frustration, clearly losing patience with all the talk. He glares at the crowd and lays down the rules, telling them to form the next resupply squad immediately. His tone says it all. Either they move or he'll make them. Then, in a cold but calm tone, he tells them not to be too upset. Everyone here was meant to die anyway, but because of their efforts, some get to live a little longer. That's just the brutal reality of this new world. The group's leader is barking orders, trying to keep things under control. But mid-sentence, someone catches his attention, something unexpected walking into view. Out on the crack street, a lone figure calmly walks through the chaos. The others can't believe their eyes. Someone's actually outside the safe zone. Shock spreads through the crowd. They start yelling, wondering if this guy's insanely brave or just lost his mind. But before they can process it, one of them screams a warning. Something's moving right beneath him. The ground trembles as the group shouts a warning. Something's coming fast. Kim Yuan turns just in time as a massive creature bursts out, jaws wide open, ready to devour him. The beast lunges, mouth stretched wide like a nightmare given form. But before it can reach him, Yuan's foot swings up, calm and precise. And then, impact. The creature's skull explodes in a spray of green blood, the shockwave tearing through the ground. Yuan stands unfazed, while the monster collapses in a brutal one-hit finish. The crowd just freezes in place. Everyone's in shock, watching this unreal scene unfold right in front of them. The timer's almost up. The tension's thick. The guy looks like he's trying to keep his cool, but knows they're cutting it close. In Yuan, he walks in like it's nothing. Calm, confident, and covered in monster blood. He tells them to carry on, like their chaos means nothing to him.